Hello people, and welcome back to the channel. In this video I'm going to show you the type of women that you should avoid if you want to have a nice, happy, peaceful life with a loyal, loving, caring woman who likes to follow the more traditional route and follow the man's lead and stay within the man's frame, and the two of yous can thrive together, which is pretty much the yin and the yang and the essence of life between man and woman. As the man leads, the woman follows, and they both have their qualities, but ultimately somebody has to lead, right? That's just the way relationships are, and we all know traditionally men are better leaders than women. Men are less emotional and more logical. That's just facts. Are men perfect? No. Are women perfect? No. But the facts are men are more logical, women are more emotional, and the better criteria for leading is logic. Simple. So let's watch this modern, feminized, demonic witch. She's feminist, sorry, did I say feminized? Basically, this modern witch. She's just a modern feminist witch. And to me, these women are kind of tapped into some evil spirit. Whether it's demonic, it's evil, I don't know, but it's definitely some evil spirit, you know. They're definitely not nice, they're definitely not kind, they're definitely not caring, and they're definitely not nurturing. They are, in my book, in essence, self-centered and just hateful towards men. Like, they constantly want to make men less than. And they want to, basically, they've got this mindset of women are the better species and women should run the world and women have to dominate and constantly put men down. That is the opposite of what any man looks like, is looking for. Well, any self-respecting man of value who is masculine and is actually a man will not go for this kind of woman. And in my opinion, this type of woman is looking for weak men to exploit, to take money from, to humiliate, because ultimately they don't respect men. This type of woman is the type of woman you must avoid. So if you don't, without going on any longer, if you don't believe me, just listen to her. I'm not going to watch the full video, I can't stand her, but I just wanted to show you an example of a modern feminist demon witch. Just a man hater. Let's just watch.
You need to start treating men like your employees. Yes, I did just say that. You need to start treating men like your employees, okay? And you might say, what about equality? What about mutual respect? What about love? Girl, we'll get into it. Just hang on for a minute. And if you're a man, welcome. Maybe you'll feel triggered to leave a wonderfully vile comment on this video. Thank you so much for that. Thank you for boosting this video. If you're the type of girl who's used to being pushed around, you're used to always feeling like you're the one who ends with the short end of the stick. Maybe you're someone who ends up in relationships with men that always promise you the world, they love bomb you, and they talk to you about how much you guys are gonna have all of these children and you're gonna do all of these things and you're gonna...
No, you are referring to the top 5 or 10% of men that you have used to your looks to go around and sleep around with, and none of them have chosen you because you have the looks but you don't have the attitude they want to keep. That's it, my dear. So they have found a better woman with a better attitude, maybe just as good a looks if not better, but an all-round better woman than you. And she might not even necessarily be better looking than you, she might just have decently good looks but a really nice personality, something that you do not have, you never will have, and that will never be in your possession because you are an evil, damaged little creature that no man in their right mind would want to keep around. And the only guy you're ever going to get is a simp who has no respect for himself and has no class, no strength as a man, and has no real manly properties, no masculine traits that you are craving. All because you cannot respect men and see that you're at fault. The reason why you hate men is because you are chasing the men who have all the options. And when it comes down to it, you cannot self-reflect and say, oh, wait a minute, the reason they're not choosing me is because of how I am as a person. I am lacking so many qualities that a true masculine man with all the options will choose, because I'm mean, I'm nasty, I'm combative, I'm vile, I'm vulgar, I look down on men, I hate men, I've got a bad attitude, and so on and so on and so on and so on. No, she will not sit and reflect on herself. Oh no, no. Accountability is the opposing factor to logic. How women in logic, when it comes to being accountable, they will just dive right into their feelings and hide from logic at every chance they get. So this is when you get a woman who is just hateful of men because she can't see things for what they are. She sees it from only her point of view, that she thinks she's so amazing she should get any man, and any man should just put up with her, and they should be her little obedient slave. A little word of advice. That's not how masculine men work. That's not what masculine men are looking for, and that's not what masculine men will ever be looking for. Yes, simps and weirdos who like to be dominated by women. Yeah, little guys and little losers who, subscribe to OnlyFans. Yeah, they'll subscribe to that because they're losers. But a true masculine man who's got opportunities and quality and options in women, many a women, you have to understand, the more women he deals with, the more he understands their nature, the more his standards level up, and the more he realises what he is worth. And he won't tolerate anything other than what his standards are. If you do not meet that man's standards, you are cooked. So this is why you're a bitter little demon. And if a woman's listening to this with a mindset like her, guess what? You effed around and found out. So you found out your worth, and that means you might have the looks, but your personality is uglier than ugly can be. And that's your problem. It's not my problem, it's not the men's problem, it's yours. Women are the ones who have the key to opening their legs. They have the key to the choice. They choose the men that they're attracted to. But like I said, these men will sleep with them because they're attractive. But once he's around her for a certain little period, he can figure out, yeah, good looking, but not a keeper. That's it. And so this is why you end up with a woman like this, because she is nasty. She's pretty on the outside, but ugly on the inside. And that's why she can't find a masculine man, because she is presenting everything opposite to a masculine man than what he's actually looking for. I mean, I know I might be rambling, but the bottom line is, that's the truth,
Build a legacy together. And you're tired. You're tired of the BS that these men are constantly spurting, and you're like, what can I do? What can I do to make myself more protected? And what can I do to make sure that this does not happen to me again? Well, honey bun, sweetie pie, fluffy unicorn girly, you are gonna
stop chasing the good looking men. Stop opening your legs to every man you feel like opening your legs to, and actually have a bit of self-respect. Vet men, and don't just always go for the guys that give you the butterflies. Try and think, is this guy a player? Is he really going to be the type to settle down with me? It's not hard to figure out, really. Let's be real. And then these women convince themselves that they're so great that they can change this man, and then when they can't change the stud, that's when they get bitter.
Have to start treating men like they're your employees. And a lot of you might say, well, I don't want to treat men like they're inferior.
Oh yeah, great advice, because masculine men will totally subscribe to that. Masculine, real top level men are totally just looking for a woman to come along into their life and say, you're going to become my employee. Oh man, these women are deluded beyond any help.
I'm all about equality. Well, the thing is, you know what? You are the creator. You can literally create life within your body. But you know what? A man needs to only supply you with material.
No. Women can create life. Men sustain life. If men did not exist, and let's say women could get women pregnant, do you think you would be sitting with your iPhone, a full running system of life, you know, from the oil fields and electric and buildings being constructed, cars being made, technology being invented? Just do yourself a favour. Just look up what have women invented and what have men invented. Just ask yourself, who really makes the world go round? So yeah, women can create life, but so can men, technically, but not within their body. If you never had men, you wouldn't be able to create babies, that's a fact. But men sustain life. So if there was no sustaining of life, we would all be extinct. Everything. Women cannot run the world. It's impossible. It would not function. They're too emotional. You cannot. Let's just be real. There was a TV series done. Okay, albeit you can say it's anecdotal, but I'm sure there's many other examples. There was a TV series done where men and women basically got put on an island, and the short and the long of it is that basically the women completely failed. They actually ended up needing the men's help, and the men were thriving. So they put men on an island, women on an island, and gave them both the same kind of an environment, and the men thrived, and the women completely collapsed. They were in chaos. Just look it up. It will not be too hard to find if you don't believe me, or I'm sure you've seen it. But that's the reality. The world would completely have collapsed long before now if it was just women. This is the reality. This is women. This is the result of women being allowed out of a man's frame and literally doing whatever she wants. This is the insanity that you end up with in the delusion, because women live in feelings. They don't live in logic. If they've not got a man keeping them in line, i.e., or in essence keeping them in logic, women just become insane. Insane. And this is a result of a woman who rejects all man's logic.
Materials to be able to do that. He cannot build the baby. He cannot build life within his body. And if that is not enough argument for you to understand that the man is actually an employee and you are...
Wow. Just wow. I mean, the delusion is just honestly indescribably insane. It's... oh my god.
Are the CEO of the company that is your divine, amazing creation of the body of a person, then I don't know, maybe you need to leave this video. Maybe this video is not for you. The reason why you are the one writing all of the paragraphs, you feel like you are the one left in the gutter and you are the one who always has to initiate, and you feel like you're never getting anything even though you're a nice, good, loyal woman, is because you're treating the man like
You are not a nice woman. I would doubt loyal as well, but I can assure you, I have seen a few minutes of you speaking and you're insufferable. You're combative, you're masculine, you've got like a right argumentative, full of yourself nature. That is so off-putting to a masculine man like me. I'm a masculine man and I can tell you right now, you are vile. You're a vile person inside, and no masculine man would actually want you around, and you might actually annoy a masculine man enough for him to say, oh, let me just put you through your paces and give you a good pounding and make you squeal and submit to me, and then I'll just bounce. Because that's the most you'll get out of a real masculine man. He'll say, oh, you think you're it, you think you're all this and that, let me just bend you over and make you squeal like a pig and show you how dominant you are, and then I'll leave you. Because that's all a man will ever want to do with a chick like this and with an attitude like this. You will get used and abused, used and abused, used and abused. And that's the reality.
He's the CEO and that you have to listen to whatever little whim that he says, and you have to guess whatever is on his mind and try to make yourself palatable to him in order for you to be able to feel any type of happiness or calmness within yourself. If you are a woman, especially if you are a neurodivergent woman, there's a good chance that you grew up feeling like you need to make everyone apart from yourself feel good in order for you to feel good.
No, when a woman grows up, all she has to do is be pretty and just be present. Men do all the work. Men have all of that on their shoulders. Let's be real. This woman is so delusional. It's men that's got to impress. It's men that's got to build themselves. It's men that's got to constantly prove themselves. Women, let's be real, women just have to be pretty and show up most of the time. That's all they do. Most women don't bring anything nowadays, and they've got that reliant on it, that's the reality. You don't get women who cook, clean, do all these multitasking things that a traditional woman does. You just get women that think, oh, I'm the table, I'm here. I've got my makeup on, I've got my BBL, my fake boobs, my fake Botox face, my big plump lips that look like I've got thrush. I'm here. This is my value. So women rely on it so heavily that it's more evident than ever. Because women literally bring nothing other than their looks, or what they appear to think's good looking nowadays, but I actually don't find most chicks very appealing because they're all fake. The more natural a woman is now, it's rare, and she's even that much hotter because a natural, nice woman, feminine, not covered in tattoos, not taking pictures of herself all the time, not showing all of her assets all the time, looking for attention all the time. That's so rare. So, men are waking up, really. Let's just be real, to the delusion of modern women that they rely on their looks. And men are like, no, that's not enough. All you're bringing is looks and attitude and chaos. No thanks.
Good. You needed to control the circumstances around you in order for you to feel like you were in control and that you could relax. This is something that is extremely common among women, but especially neurodivergent women. And I know for a fact, as a neurodivergent woman myself, that if you're
Neurodivergent. I would just say delusional. But yeah, you're delusional. And I can assure you I'm very more close to being accurate than you are with neurodivergent. You are delusional.
someone who's grown up being a people pleaser, maybe you've been oversharing to feel like you need to get that closeness to people. Like you can't get that closeness to people without you oversharing. And maybe you always want to give a reason and explain yourself to everyone like, oh, the reason I'm doing this is because of that. And the reason that I'm doing that, buying this, going here is because of that. Maybe you're even the type of person that every single time you have to make a decision in your life, you have to ask someone about their opinion. There are a lot of you girls out there that do this. And I'm not saying this because I do not think that you're doing good.
Yeah, so what she's saying is just don't listen to men. Don't go into a man's frame. Don't take a man's lead. You're a strong, independent woman and you know exactly what you're doing. Women are better than men. We live in our feelings and we just feel like we're better, so we are better. And if you feel like this, it's like in a woman's world, anything can be. They can create any delusion and illusion. That's the problem with when you're too deep in emotions and you don't have logic to pull you back and rein you in and align you. Logic is the fundamentals of the reality that we live in. Emotion, if you're too far in it like this woman, you can create anything in your head and believe anything. Like what we're seeing with men can become women and women can become men, and you can chop this off and become that. That's all delusion. That's all emotions. None of that's logic. And that's how we get here when we allow the emotional feminine mindset to run the world. It's delusion. We will live in a world of delusion. If logic and masculinity gets deleted, like she wants you to just rubbish it by the wayside, you're going to live in a delusional world. So that's why this woman is lost, damaged, confused, and delusional.
Doing good. If you're watching this video, you're doing amazing. But I want more. I want better for you because I know you deserve more and you deserve better. You deserve to see yourself as the CEO of your own company, which you are. You are literally...
Yeah, I've heard enough of this absolute delusional... I'm going to say it, retard. That's what she is. She's a delusional retard. And then wait till you see the comments. That's all these other, what do they call it? The sheep mentality, the flock mentality, where women are just, they get in their emotions and are like, yeah, you go, girl. We can do whatever we want. Never mind logic, girl. We can just create the world whatever way we want to be. If we want to be the most powerful species and we want to just say we're the best, we can be. Never mind logic. We don't need men to keep us right. Okay. So look, I treat my husband like an employee, so she's married a simp. Men love assignments and solving problems, give them tasks. No. I can assure you, men do not like women constantly say they have stuff to do. I can assure you. Wrong. I've noticed a man who has no value in himself and constantly chases kitty and looking for approval and feels like a woman's above him just because she's got box and, you know, she's a woman. That's a simp. That's a guy who has no self-respect. That's not a masculine man. That's not a true man. That is a feminized man. A true masculine man will not will not put up with this. I've noticed as soon as I start being polite or kind or sweet to them, even in form of appreciation, I sense them losing respect. But see how it's like I feel whatever. Feeling respect again once I take my nice part and realise treat him like a servant only. Then again they're normal and doing what they're supposed to. Do they hate being treated nicely? No, like what are you talking about? A husband leads, a wife commands. Like, this is what women are telling each other. This is insane. This is why the world is nuts. So what they're basically saying is, we don't need logic. We just need girl power and emotions, and we can do whatever we want. This reality can be moulded to whatever we want, girls. Never mind logic and reality. We can create our own delusional fantasy that we can live in. And that's what we're seeing here. That's such a catchy line to help staying detached. Haven't listened to the video, but as soon as I saw treat men like your employees, I subscribed immediately. So do you see how lost all of these women are? So far from the right path, it's actually insane. I don't care anymore about dating. I'd rather take myself out on dates. Let him lie next to the next girl. What? Like, see, this is the thing, right? So see all these women that are complaining like kind of about men and how she's complaining about men and they promise you this. I guarantee you she's got at least over her lifetime 100, at least minimum 100 unanswered DMs from guys showing interest, but because she didn't like the look of them, because they were maybe wearing sandals, maybe because his photo angle was bad or she didn't rate his photo, all stupid kinds of, maybe because he had a McDonald's coffee instead of a Starbucks coffee, that's why she got an ick from him and didn't message him. These women will literally weed men out for the silliest things and then say, where are all the good men? And all they do is chase the guys that are completely out of their league and guys who you're literally going to be winning the lottery if they choose you because they've got so many options. That's how deluded they are. They all think they're as special can be and the best thing since sliced bread, but the reality is, on a general playing field, in the big picture, none of you are that special because there is a lot of you. You're only as special as the reality will allow to be, not as special as you think you are. So if there's, let's say, 3 billion women in the world, you're not that special to one guy who's got the option of them all, or a lot of them, right? So, I mean, it's just crazy. Like, women just do not understand that they need men. These women do not understand they need men to bring logic into their life. That is what a man's frame is. It's keeping a woman in reality. If women are rejecting that, they're going to be in the biggest state of delusion you would ever imagine. And that's what we're seeing. That's why we're getting to the point where they're saying, if a man's not 5'11" or 6 foot, no. If he doesn't make at least 2, 3, 4, 500k, no. If he's not, got a six-pack, no. If he's not got a mansion, no. If he's not got private jets, it's a no. They think that they're so special, but it's like, that's delusion. When you think about it, let's say there's 3 billion, 4 billion, 5 billion women in the world. To a certain pool of guys, you're not that special because the guys you're chasing have got a choice of them all. So to be convinced that you should get that guy, and then if you don't get that guy, you hate men and all men are trash, then that's delusion. And like I said, all of this is just women without logic. They've pushed men that far out of their life. They're all delusional. Don't let them in on your company secrets. The imaginary is this is so real. Men don't even see women as equal half the time. so become a CEO. Like, you just honestly look at just what. Take what I'm saying, right, and look at women who push and reject masculinity, and just look at how deluded they are, because they reject logic and reality. So when they're rejecting men and masculinity, that's what men bring to their life. That is what a frame is, being in a man's frame. He keeps you right. He is the one who navigates in logic, so he can keep you in reality and keep you on the right path. But when you look at these women who hate men and they're anti-men, and I'll just show you, there was a video I've seen there, look, 48 laws to trick men and get princess treatment. So these are women who just do not get it. This is a woman who will be perpetually single, but I think she obviously is a narcissist and likes abusing, and she doesn't really want the true great things out of a man. She just likes the narcissistic way of toying with them, abusing them, manipulating them, and a lot of women are sadly like that. But I'm going to leave you with this. Just pay attention to the man-hating feminist women and look at how deluded they are, because they do not accept a man's logic in their life. They reject it at all costs, and when that happens, they become completely and utterly deluded and insane. Just observe it. So until the next time, take it easy and peace.